Hello there, Robbie Susan Chandler here from Quincy, Florida, right outside Tallahassee, Florida. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to share with you card number 1 in a series of 3 using the Saran Wrap stamping technique. I don't know if you've ever used that technique, but it really is a lot of fun. I just did a series of classes with this, and everyone had a great time with doing these cards. So here's the card we're going to make today. Now, in addition to showing you the Saran Wrap technique, I'm also going to show you the seagull fold. So this card folds out like this. I'm going to lay it down here so you can see it. And from the top, it looks like a seagull. And living down here in Florida, it's very appropriate for us. And then to fold up, it folds up like this to go into the envelope. So let's take a look at our pieces and see what we do for this Saran Wrap technique. Alright, our base piece, you'll need 2, and they're 4.5 inches by 8 1/4 inches, and you score it at 2 1/4, 4, and 6 1/4. Now when you do that, you will have a 2-inch section, a 2 1/4 inch section, a 1 3/4 inch section, and a 2 1/4 inch section. It's important to remember which end is the 2-inch section in. So we'll get back to these pieces in just a minute. You'll also need a 3 3/4 by 1 3/4 piece, and this is actually for the sentiment that we have on the back here. And that piece is adhered to a 4 by 2 inch piece. So that's our back piece. And then on the front, this piece right here is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then layering on top of it, we'll be layering a 4 by 4 inch piece. These side pieces are 4 by 2, and they are cut with the Darling Detail dies. And it's this die right here, a really cute die, the one on the package right there. And I cut those and adhered one on one end, one on the other. And then also, these pieces right here are 4 by 1 1/2 inches, and you'll need 2 of them. And they were embossed with the painted texture embossing folder, which we have to use our gray plate that you buy from Stampin' Up! With this type of thick folder. And that's what these look like once they're embossed. And those are the pieces that go here. Okay, let's look at how we build our front piece. So let me put this one out of the way for right now. Okay, let's go back to our 2 pieces that we scored at 2 1/4, 4, and 6 1/4. So what we want to do is place these so the 2-inch sections are facing each other this way. And we're going to fold those back like this. And what I did, you butt them up to each other, and what I did to keep them in place until I can glue the next piece on is I just used a piece of Scotch tape and just put it right down the center. And then you're going to take your 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece, put your glue all over these 2 flaps, not on the back side, but just on the front, and you're going to glue this down so you've got an even border between the 2 score lines here. So you want it right in the center, and it should match top to bottom. So I have already done that with this piece right here. So from the top, this is what it looks like. And see this, here's the flaps that you met up and folded back like that to glue down on here. So now you have the base of your card. And then you just adhere these pieces, the scallop piece on the ends and the painted texture piece on the ends. And I didn't show you where this paper came from. This paper is actually from this set of designer paper, and it's called the 2022-2024 in colored textured specialty paper. And that's because this paper has a little texture in it. And on the front, the screen piece is also in this pack. You can see on the edge right there, it has the dark Starry Sky, the light Orchid Oasis, and this lemon lime twist piece in it. It also has Tahitian Tide, and it has Poppy Parade. You can see right here on the edge, here's the Poppy Parade. They're all very beautiful colors in this. Alright, so now let's work on our Saran Wrap piece. Now the colors I used were Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. And basically what you do, you just get a piece of Saran Wrap, wad it up, and you can just hold it in your hand if you want to, but I put it on these little clips and labeled it so I wouldn't get them mixed up. And you just pounce it. Let me go over a little bit. Pounce it on here. Let me test this. And then just start pouncing it around on this piece of paper. And this is basic white. I did use thick basic white for the card base, so I wanted it to hold up well. Now I started out with the lighter color first, and I basically wanted to fill in my background so I didn't have much white showing. And you can do this with any colors. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so this is the texturized look you get when you stamp with this Saran Wrap. Alright, so that was color number 1. That was the Orchid Oasis. This one. So now I'm going to add Starry Sky. And I have my little Starry Sky clip. And I'm just going to, let me stamp off just to see. Yeah, this is going to be pretty dark, but I'm just going to kind of randomly put this in some places. I don't want to make it as, fill it in as much as I did with the other. Just kind of highlighting some areas. And I think actually that's probably enough right there. It really gives a marbleized look. So you can have your lighter color in the background and your darker color in the front. Now one other thing I did to this, just because I like things sparkly, is I put a little Wink of Stella on it. So you can just flick your lid like this, and pretty well will give you a good covering of Wink of Stella. Another way, you could just squeeze it on a block here and pick it up and then start flicking it, and you'll get good coverage that way too, but mine seems to be working pretty well this way today. So I'm just going to stick with this. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So can you see the little bit of shimmer and shine in there? Alright, let's take this piece and we want to adhere it to our card front. Just put a little glue on here. And just put it right in the center. I really like this technique. It's fun. It's easy. And you really can't mess it up. Alright, so now we have our front, our side wings. I've already stamped my sentiment and adhered it to the back. Let's look at the middle part here. Now, the dies I used for this all came from the Timeless Arrangement dies. And I used, let me get these off of here. I used this paper, which is textured shimmer paper. There we go, textured shimmer paper. And I used this white piece on my sample. Now, on the card I'm going to make today with you guys, I'm actually going to use some white glitter paper I had left over, just to give it a little bit different look. So here are the pieces we'll use. Alright, well, this is one of the dies. And here's another one. There's actually, I'm going to use 4 of them. And this is the die out of the set that I used for the sentiment right here. And I just cut it out of basic white. So here's another one. Here's the 4th one. So we've got 1, 2, Fit this here. 3. And then this last piece I cut out of the lemon lime twist, and I cut 2 of those because I wanted a piece on the top, a piece on the bottom. And basically I just layer these. This I use for a bottom piece, and then I put a green one on top of it and kind of shifted it over a little bit so this kind of stuck out over the side. And then on top of that I put this one, and you just glue these little bars together. You've got this piece, and then all you have to do is put it underneath your sentiment. Alright, so there's that piece, and then the top I just put these 2 together like this and stuck them under the top part. So this is, see, here's the top piece, and I just glued it under here. Here's the bottom piece and glued it under there. I think it gives a really pretty full look. Let me get these out of the way. So here's the whole set put together. So here's the top 2 pieces, the bottom 3, and I also cut a little bow out of the woven Starry Sky metallic ribbon, and just put a few dimensionals on the back. And let's just stick it down right in the middle of our card front. And there we have it. And there's our finished card. It's really not a difficult card to make once you figure out all these little folds, and it is a little tricky here when you start folding these in, because the trick is, here's where I glued it together. You have to go back and then forward, and you'll just have one layer showing. So when you fold it, here's the one that's going to glue to the back of our square on the front. So you just make sure you fold it back, forward, and then it'll go flat. So fold back, forward, and then it goes flat. And that's how you get, see, I'm going to fold it in. That's how you get these edges showing here. I want to show you a few more examples of this card that some of my team members made. This one was made by Kay Graham, and she used the crane on it, and it opens up like this. I think this is a beautiful card. In fact, she gave me this one for my birthday. And here's one, another birthday card I got from another team member. This was made by Judy Harrison. She used our retired tulip paper, and it folds out like that. She put her sentiment on the back. Kay actually put her sentiment in here behind the front piece. And then here's one more made by team member Linda Ray, and she used the circle sayings, and it opens up like this. So I hope you enjoyed my video here, and maybe you'll take a shot at making this flying seagull saran wrap technique, and look for my card number 2 and card number 3 in my series of 3 on this stamping technique. And until next time, happy stamping.